Awesome. Let me refresh the stream because I see something.
Oh, I'm on
Quality looks.
I'm on the wrong stream.
Good.
I'm on mine. Twitch. Wait, I just saw it.
You seem to be streaming to the identity one. It looks good.
Yeah, just okay. I found it.
Oh,
Nice. Just saw it. Oh, you can hear me. La, 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 la.
all right. Let's just see if the audio seems to be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are a bit early, but everything seems to be going well. Hello to the people in the chat that are there. We got 1080p quality this time, which is nice. Very sharp looking.
I mean, I could upscale to.
Oh no, we don't need any. We
Okay.
don't need it any higher. That's crazy.
No problemo for my internet.
You
I hope so.
must have a good ISP plan then.
Yeah. 100
Nice.
down, 5 up.
Ooh, that is good. All right. But yeah, John is still out right now. We'll see if he can pop in, but if not, we can just chill out, answer questions the best we can. But we'll probably describe or talk about something else. Yeah. What are you working on right now, Philippe? Is this the low poly model of the?
Yeah, I try something new. So
Ooh.
I just yeah, wait, I have it open. So 1 second. So that's the low poly of the gum machine. And let's
Oh,
open the
that's cool.
high poly. Yeah, this one works. So that's a high poly. Shiny.
Oh,
Yeah.
so smooth, yeah.
So this is 50 million points. It's about 40 million triangles.
Whoa.
And it's divided in about 10 pieces, 10 or 9 pieces. So I can isolate like this little piece in front, or let's pick the biggest one, this one, and I can pre-process this subtools or this element and
Whoa.
push it down to about, I don't know, 2000 points, 1500. And after so I do this with everything in this list, and I can use it as my low poly, which has about 7000 triangles in the end.
Whoa.
Yeah, and if this works, that's pretty nice. It saves about 1 day of work.
That is actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Motown gave you a pretty cool thing to work on. I think a gumball machine is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's more interesting as what was it before, cash register stuff. It was a little bit boring.
I gotcha.
But he said to me, now he has some more interesting stuff after this one. That's good.
Yeah. Wow. So you've only been with the team for like what, a week or two, I think?
I guess a week, 10 days,
Wow.
yeah, something like this.
Yeah, you've been putting in a lot of work in the last like couple of days, honestly.
Yeah, it's my second job at the moment. And
Awesome.
full time in next year, beginning next year, ends this year.
So what made you want to like become or pursue a 3D modeling?
I started, what was it, 2005 or 2006, just for
Oh,
fun
wow.
for Battlefield 2. So I played with the map editor and stuff, and I liked it, but lost interest for a few years.
Okay.
And a friend of mine started, yeah, studying the stuff, and I went to the university or institute, looked at it, and yeah, I liked it, signed up and studied.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's 3 years ago. And after this, I went to Quitec and worked there for a year and a little bit freelance stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you have a passion for it, usually that'll take you really far. And it seems that, you've got a real knack for this sort of thing, so
Yeah.
nice.
Freelance is more my stuff. Quitec was pretty nice, but every day in the office and yeah, I don't know. That's not my stuff. Sitting
Hmm.
8 hours in this room and
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel right.
I mean, I just kind of started doing that, and it's a very nice office. But I see what you mean. Working a 9 to 5 is
Yeah.
always tough for any job. It's like, oh, but at least this is going towards something cool. I'm super excited for Identity, and hopefully, Module 1 isn't too far away. But we should still be announcing the release date of that before November. So we only got like I think like a
It's a
full
week.
week left,
Yeah,
actually.
six
Yeah,
six
we have a week
days.
left. John was
No,
mentioning
so,
that earlier. He's like, "Oh yeah, we gotta try and get something ready for that." So it's hot on our minds, that's for sure.
uh,
Yeah, but yeah. Honestly, I'm impressed by like the quality of this because, as I said, like last time, the stream we had on Thursday, it was pretty good. But like your internet must be just leagues ahead of the other guys.
yeah, the sound was a little bit cutting
Yeah,
out
it was
for me.
definitely choppy. Yeah, it was the same for everyone, unfortunately. But you could still make out most of it. When I was doing the Twitch clips, I got like all the pertinent answers and questions and all that. But yeah, this is way clearer, so that's cool.
So, where is it? Um,
Sorry, just typing
no
real
problem.
quick. Cool. So, would you say it's more fun making the high poly versions or the low poly?
Um, I would say the high poly. Because the low poly is just you delete edges or faces you don't need in low poly and clean it up, and
Mm-hmm.
it's more the boring process like UV mapping stuff like here. It's you have to do it at the moment, but there are tools you can use which automatically UV stuff for you. Uh,
Yeah. Like obviously high poly textures and models take way longer, but uh I can see how it gives you more creative freedom to like fine tone certain things.
yeah.
Um Yeah, but a gumball machine, I'm curious. I guess this might go inside the cinema? I'm not too sure.
Uh, I wait. Let's see. I what did he
I
say? I
saw I
guess a
saw you
barber
had
shop.
oh maybe because I saw you had like the actual physical gumballs earlier. I think you posted that in the Discord. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's just a texture which goes inside of the big ball, so I don't have to fill it up with gumballs to the top
oh cool.
because this just would waste triangles, and
Yeah, fair
nobody
enough.
will see the difference.
Yeah, that's cool.
Uh,
I should probably tweet this out. I'm nervous because the devs aren't here, but it's like,
Let's make a test bake.
Ooh, a test bake. What's this?
Try to bake the normal map on the low poly just to test it if it works.
Ooh.
Where is it? Almost 60 people watching.
Jeez, and
Me
I didn't
do
even
nothing, waiting for program response.
I didn't even like I just tweeted it out now because we can't really answer questions until we get one of the main devs here. So it's like, but we could definitely talk more about 3D modeling. So
Just say I have no information about this topic.
I don't want to say anything that might be incorrect. I can answer questions that have been answered in the past. Hopefully, I have a bunch of Twitch clips now, but oh, that's cool.
So
It looks tasty. The gumball machine looks like an actual candy now.
yes, it's just color information for a different map I could bake if I needed.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I just... Oops, I'm so dumb. I just, deletes. I just tweeted out the Twitter. There we go, tweeting out the actual...
Export.
There we go.
Let's continue.
Hey Schwado, I think I still have one of your questions written down from earlier about being a mechanic, and let me just look through the Twitch chat here. Oh, awesome, James. I think you're Lucky Duck, right? Thanks for popping in and helping. You still have way more wisdom about this game than I do. Whoa, the gumball machine looked cool.
What is this? Die Schumschingbrauken.
Oh shoot.
Oh.
Okay. So sorry for it's still been really quiet, guys. John had an appointment today, and he went out for that when he went for lunch. I think he left a few hours ago, but he's been ultra busy recently, getting like visa papers done to help fly some people out here to the office. Just trying to get everything rounded up and ready for when we can actually announce the Module 1 release date. But he's still out. And Motown, he's switching internet service providers today, so he's just away right now. I think he's only able to be on Skype and things like that on his cell phone. So unfortunately, it's just me, the community manager, and I always ask them questions. So I will try to answer the ones that I'm super confident about, but definitely don't want to be saying things that will not come to fruition. So it'll be a little bit quiet until John shows up. If he does, I hope he does, because we only have an hour left to work today. But yeah, for those just tuning in, this is Philippe. He's one of our newest guys, and he's done some pretty awesome work already. We posted the full poly model of the gumball machine on Twitter today and in the Discord, and now he's kind of like touching up the lower poly version. Not too sure what Motown will have in store for him in the future, but basically he's been assigning different tasks for the streamers, like for the artists that are going to appear. So tomorrow and Thursday we should have artists as well, and then I think Tuesday we have an animator. And then after that I'll try and keep them coming, but yeah, we're just really trying to show you guys that, you know, progress is actually going. It has been slow. Like when Identity was kind of like the inception of Identity was like with 3 people. For a very long time they only had like 3 workers on it, but now that we have the office and we have some manpower, we're actually like really speeding up development. So that's a good thing. But yeah, we're just trying to show you guys that, you know, we don't only play games in the office, because some people got that impression from the game dev streams, and now we can kind of see why. So we're definitely going to focus on showing our efforts with the game, where it's going. We would love to show gameplay, it's just not ready yet. But we have a lot of talented artists on the team to hopefully help tide that over for a bit. Identity will support 4K resolution. Well, a lot of the models we're doing are like super high textured and high res, because it's easy to like downscale stuff and like make lower poly versions, as Philippe is doing here, but like making them from scratch and upgrading would be tough. So I'm going to assume you can push the res pretty well in the game, but I don't know like for certain if we'll have like a 4K preset, because we're also at the same time, we do kind of want to be console friendly. We don't know 100% if we're going to have a console version, but I'm pretty sure that the first module for the game is going to be controller friendly, just in terms of the UI. And I think I asked John this in another stream. He said if you plug in an Xbox One controller, it just should be responsive. So we'll see where that goes. Yeah. To follow that up, Berserker, like I think the original Mortal Kombat only had like 4 people on the team. I think like 1 programmer, a music guy, and like 2 art dudes or something like that. But it's definitely possible with small teams, but Identity would take forever if we only had 3 people on it. So that's why we've been in a bit of a hiring craze as of late, and we've got the office set up, and we're trying to fly people out here so they can work with us here. We have, I mean, Philippe, you're from the UK, right?
Germany.
Oh, Germany.
Almost.
Sorry. Yeah, so like we have people around the globe that are contributing to this effort, and we definitely love to have it more centralized, but regardless, our workers are putting in. Yeah, it is. Holy cow, it is. I understand completely. Yeah, it sucks. I had a whole like text document full of questions from the Discord that I saved up from today and yesterday, but oh well, John is busy in Motown. Like, I switching ISPs is always a pain. Sometimes they do shady stuff to try and not let you switch and just make it difficult. So hopefully it's going well for him. I also have to get these art streams on YouTube. I haven't been given access to manage the channel yet,
Oh
but I
yeah,
know I know I uploaded the one on Thursday unlisted. I just haven't been able to log in and like make sure it's fine to go public. But yours, Philippe, will probably also be uploaded at some point if you're
that's
okay with
nice.
that.
I like to watch this stuff.
Yeah, it's cool just to see how someone, goes through their cycles
Yeah.
and the process and all that. Whoa. I have no idea what I'm looking at right now, but it's pretty cool.
Basically, cutting the mesh so I can use it as a 2D texture to put my textures on it. So converting
Ah,
from 3D space in 2D.
cool.
Yeah. Okay. Mhm. Right now it's a little bit blocky, but that's fixed after the UVs because right now we have no smoothing on the mesh.
Okay.
It looks like, I don't know, 1998.
Yeah, that's awesome. Looks like the old like Sonic the Fighters graphics you see in arcades, all like low poly.
Normally you would model everything in quads, or not everything, but you won't use so many triangles because right now everything is triangulated. But because
Hmm.
there will be no animated parts on this mesh, like if you want a gumball and you go to the machine, press a button and it's just spawning in, I guess. So you can't really use this handle in front. And
Okay.
because there's no animation later on it, I can use triangles all over the place,
Ooh,
which will hopefully save some time.
that's good. Unless one of the animators is tasked with making it function, then he might be
If
like,
the animator has to build some animations for it, that would be bad.
hopefully it's just a stationary thing then for now.
Yes, yeah, it's just standing on the desk, and I have no idea if there will be a function for it or just standing there. He just told me there will be no animation for it, so yeah.
Okay, that's good. Cool. Well, John just walked in. He's still doing some stuff, but hopefully he'll be able to join soon.
Whoa, that's funky.
Oh, at Gujaro Primero, yeah, it's been stuck at 89% on the website for a while. Basically, I think Motown said it. It's just going to jump up to 100. We're not going to do smaller updates as it's going because we're kind of like in the final stretch. So we just kind of want to like nail it at 100 next.
Can I greet somebody?
Oh,
Just
if
that's
you want to read out stuff, it's
no,
fine.
not weed, greet.
Oh, oh, greet. Sorry. Yeah, speaking of greeting somebody, I'll throw John in here when he's ready.
My buddy Lucas just found us. Greetings to Lucas and Peter.
Yeah, it's always nice to have hometown support from your friends
Yeah, he lives
when they show up in
lives
streams.
in the city next to me.
Ooh. So what time is it over there right now? Just curious again.
Almost 11. Not almost, but yeah. Of course, the minutes are the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I gotcha.
10, yeah.
Wow.
20
Yeah, quite the
minutes
jump.
after 10. Yeah, it is. Oh, Discord
We
did
just
something.
yeah, I just made a group chat,
Okay.
so when he's ready
Hey
to
guys.
join. Oh,
Okay.
hey, you're here?
Hey.
Woo. Man,
Sorry
that
for being
appointment
away.
must have been long, but
That
it's fine.
yeah. Well, it was kind of far away too, but I didn't think it would be that
Yeah,
bad. This traffic made it terrible.
it's all good.
God.
Traffic today has been murder, especially with the
I
rain
don't
weather.
I don't know what it is. Like I don't know why there's so many people out today. It's not even rush hour or anything. But
Mm. Oh,
so how goes things?
good, good. Philippe's just showing us the little poly model of the gumball machine. It's looking
Okay,
nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Now we can chill out for the remaining hour of the day with some questions if you're up for it, John.
Sure.
Woo.
So you've been going for. Did you start 20 minutes ago or?
We started like 10 minutes before the actual
Okay.
start time just to see if it was going to work, and it's going great right now. We have a lot of viewers for like, I only tweeted it out. I didn't post on Facebook. We're at like 116.
Oh, cool.
So that's nice. Okay, I got a bunch of questions that people were asking since
Okay.
yesterday on Discord, so I'm not going to go through all of them, but
All right, fire away.
awesome. So the first one comes from Schwado, and he's wondering if you can be a mechanic in the game, and if so, does that entail you like, can you replace the engine? Can you fix cars? Stuff like that.
Yeah, so your car, there are parts that could be fixed on the fly, depending on what is damaged. Sometimes you're going to have to actually do it at a garage. Things obviously like a tire, anybody can do. So a tire's, something that everybody knows how to do by default that you can do on the fly if you have a
Yes.
spare tire and stuff. And actually, on that note too, cars will come with at least one spare tire. Every car will come with tires because
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, it's the kind of thing that's going to happen a lot. I think people are going to see. The thing is, a lot of people are used to games like Grand Theft Auto or something, where you could just take any kind of car and you can off-road that thing like a champ, and it's not going to cause any problems. Drive over a fence or whatever, doesn't matter. In Identity, you can't really do that unless you have a car that's kind of built to do that. So
Okay.
it's a little more realistic in that sense. So your flat tires they're going to be a thing. More substantial problems are actually going to require a tow truck, and you're going to have to actually do that at the garage. But yes, a lot of that can be done by players, and a lot of the pieces of your vehicle can also be swapped out. So you can upgrade them or change them. Things like, the engine's like one example of many. But
Awesome. That's
yeah,
good.
I don't know what you're doing right now, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's. I asked him earlier.
Just
like,
UVs.
I'm lost. But it's really neat.
Oh, is this a UV thing? Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the way it was moving was cool though. The animation thing.
Awesome. So that'll definitely appease the players that want to kind of be a mechanic and fix up their cars. That's good.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be into the car customization side of things.
All right.
There's a lot going on there.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, it sounds cool. I'm excited to be driving around. Okay, so here's one regarding roleplay that I saved from yesterday. Someone was wondering if you could have like some sort of identifier on your character, maybe over their head or something, or in their profile that says, I RP occasionally, I never RP, or I'm always 100% in my character. Do you think we could do something like that?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Over their head, I mean, it's possible we could do with an icon. It's not something that we have in the design right now, but it's something that would be very simple to add. Like there'd
Okay.
be almost no effort. There are some things like, so there's a server setting too, where community servers can make the name thing a little more strict too. So you can make it so that names don't show above people's heads until you meet them. So that's kind of cool too. On those servers, you have to do like an emote that's a wave, and once you wave to the guy, he'll forever know your name. But until that point, you're kind of anonymous.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, just because in terms of RP, like I really haven't been involved in that sort of community. And then when it came to identity, there's actually a huge community for it. They're like big YouTubers and Twitch streamers that have a massive amounts of following that really kind of just like live their role inside the game. So
Yeah.
I've been getting some
roleplay-
questions about that.
It's fun to watch, like for Twitch
It
streamers
is.
and stuff. It's always hilarious. Like just like one of my favorite things is in Altus Life that when someone got arrested and they always try to make up this crazy excuse to the cops as to why what they did was legitimate and everything. So people come up with like the best stories. Another really fun one too, that you'll see in Identity a lot is in the legal part, the judicial system. So when someone's been arrested and they want to get off early and they have a court trial.
Yeah.
The jury trials are hilarious in Altus Life. I'm sure they will be here too. You know, the people basically telling their peers why they did what they did and everything. And I always just, whenever I was part of that jury, I'd let people off just by how great their story was. I didn't even care if they did it or not. Tell me a good story, I'll let you go.
That's fair if it wins the vote. Awesome. Here's a quick question by someone in the Discord. Will there be health bars in Module 1? Can you fall off a building and hurt yourself?
There's not really anywhere you can get really that's going to make it possible to hurt yourself a lot. In Town Square, you can't go up on the rooftops. I'm trying to think of like what rooftops you will be able to go onto. Things like the bank, initially they're not open. So there's an ATM on the outside of the bank, but that's one of the buildings that has like an accessible rooftop. But yeah, in Town Square, that building doesn't have an interior; it just has ATMs that you can access on the outside. There are some other buildings that you can go on top of, but again, it all comes down to when we open that, when those buildings become accessible. So none of them are like severe. But to answer the question, no, there's no health bar in Town Square because there's not really health. There's no combat or anything like that, so there's no need. And even in Identity, when we go live with the full game, we aim for a very minimal user interface, as minimal as we can get it. So we don't like having a lot of clutter on the UI. Most of the time, I'd love there to be nothing visible on the UI at all. For the HUD, I'm talking, like the heads-up display.
Yeah, I like the idea of integrating the UI. Like instead of checking your balance by pressing start, you actually go up to the ATM. I think that's pretty neat. Or your cell phone.
Yeah, your cell phone, you'll be able to see your bank balance on there. But also ATMs. ATM is if you want to actually take cash out and have cash on hand for any kind of reason, like usually for less than legal purchases.
Yeah, shady deals behind the streets. Awesome. Here's one about the housing system. Now, we've went over how you could give people permissions to come into your house before, right? But someone was wondering, if you own a house and someone else owns a house, can you like both share the same house? Can you both technically have like, can one person kind of like own two houses at the same time? Is that a thing?
Sort of. Well, yes, you can own two houses at once. So the way it works is there's an owner. There's always one owner of every house. But then in addition to that, you can assign co-owners. And the co-owner basically has the permissions of an owner. Okay. Only they don't have the ability to, like, it's not their house, so they can't steal it from you, Yeah, but there's other things to do. The house, too, is you're going to be able to set them up for renting. Like, if you don't want to actually live in it, that's why you can own more than one house, because you might want to rent it out to people that don't have the cash to buy a house outright. Which will probably be a lot of people.
Yeah. That's definitely fair. Got a few questions from the forums actually that Lucky relayed to me. One of them here is, will the back seats in police vehicles be locked at all times?
Locked how? Police vehicles will themselves mostly be locked.
Okay. So
the back seat of the police cars that we have right now, there's actually like a, I don't know what you call it. There's like a divider between the front and back seats. There's usually like a shotgun there or something too.
Oh.
But but yeah, when you're in the back seat of a cop car, you're locked in there because you're probably going to be restrained too, handcuffed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the cop has to let you out, obviously. But
Okay.
yeah, they're mostly going to be locked. Like you're not going to be able to just walk up to a cop car and jump into it like it's Grand Theft Auto. Like unless the cop
Yeah.
makes a terrible accident, and leaves his car unlocked for some reason. But I wouldn't
Awesome.
count on it.
Um. Here's another thing. Do like seatbelts play a part in the game? Can you get a ticket if you're not wearing a seatbelt? If that's even a thing.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we have
awesome.
seatbelts, and they'll help too. If you get in an accident without a seatbelt, you're probably going to die. So they will
Wow.
help you not be dead.
Good. So, lesson learned, kids. Wear your seatbelts, please. Don't go through the front. Yeah. So, you're doing good for the rapid fire questions. We already answered a bunch. All right. So next one. Will entering vehicles be like advanced, as in like you don't just hit a key and you go in, but you have to like open the door and then walk in, or is it just one button?
It's mostly one button.
Cool.
I mean, it's animated nicely. It's not you're not just going to appear inside the car or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not a complicated process to get. I mean, really, that kind of stuff. It sounds cool in theory, but after you get in a car 300 times, you're going to be pretty over it.
Yeah,
So
that's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
Cool. So I have a really specific one about driving actually, and it's about freeways and interstates. Will they be kind of like in real life where you gotta enter or exit a ramp with a certain speed, and then highways with no ramps have like a certain speed as well?
Yeah, so everywhere, every road of every kind has speed limits assigned to it. So our our world development team has the ability to assign speed limits on a road, and if you exceed that, then you're flagged.
Ooh.
If you get seen, if a cop actually witnesses you speeding, they could give you a ticket. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, but
Nice.
if a cop doesn't see it happen, you're probably going to get away with it unless there's a camera. There are some areas that have speed cameras too that will kind of like automate that.
Oh,
So
neat.
in like that's more very specific areas, like in like a town square, for example. So areas where you really don't want people just getting run down all day.
Yeah. Awesome. And I guess on the whole vehicle thing, Mayor from the Discord asks, will rear and side view mirrors actually work?
Yep,
Oh, so
they
you
will.
can just
It
look at them with
yeah,
a
so
camera angle behind you?
it'll likely be something that can be toggled though because
Okay.
of performance reasons. So the problem is with that. So there's two ways we can do that. The default way is simply like using the cube map kind of a kind of system. We can have dynamic stuff in there though, but it's like ugly. It's not going to be clear.
Okay.
Then the other option is for us to use a camera system, which will be very clear, but a pretty hefty hit on performance. So we'll likely have both options available, and you'll be able to control how you want that based on whatever your computer can handle.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Um, Here's another one. It's about customization, actually. Can we import custom symbols on shirts in game? If not, can we draw on clothing?
Yep. Yes, on the import even.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if I guess you haven't seen it in the office, but we have this clothing system in place where we can dynamically load textures. It's this really cool system that our programmer Henrik created. So really, when it comes to that point, kind of the sky's the limit on that for what we do with it. One of the things that we are going to allow you to do is make logos. For example, every corporation can have a logo. So if you own a corporation and you make a T-shirt, for example,
Ah.
all these clothings have this like little optional spot in it where you can have a brand. Now I'm not talking like the T-shirt, like the whole front. I'm talking like a little piece on the side or something, so that it's an authentic whatever corporation shirt, right? So you
Nice.
can kind of make your own brand when you craft shirts. But then in addition to that too, We need to do a little more testing on that, but our system does support the ability to actually upload custom images, not just draw it in game, but
That's
basically
cool.
anything you can do in Photoshop could become an identity thing.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's really neat. I'm excited for that. Like, just can't wait to see all these. Well, now that said, guys, on the official servers, those uploads will be moderated.
Yeah,
So
very heavily. We I think we discussed this with, I forget if it was you
yeah,
or Motown, but
we expect a couple shapes to be
yeah,
recurring themes, if you
you'll
know what
be
I
able
mean.
to like access the list and delete them from the game, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, the moderation team will be able
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Great. So whoever in the office isn't doing enough work is going to be
Well,
monitoring
see,
for.
that's the only thing that we're not fully decided on right now. Like I was saying, we have the ability to do all this,
Hmm.
and it'll most definitely be a thing for corporate logos. When it comes to every piece of clothing that's created, we're gonna have to see, because that could turn into a massive number of things that could be.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll have to see on that one, but it is a possibility. I would love to
Cool.
see it myself.
Yeah. I have two more in my little notepad, and then we can move to Twitch. Sorry, guys. I know you, so many questions. I'm surprised by the amount of viewers today too. Like last stream we had was about 80. Now it's hovering around 130. It's moving. Awesome. So here's a quick one. Can you be like an IT or like electronics technician in the game and like fix, I don't know, a computer?
Well, your computers won't really break. You know,
Hmm.
it's not really a problem in the game. Just again because, well, first of all, when it comes to phone, I saw somebody else ask about phones breaking in the game, and they cannot break because your phone is actually incredibly important in the game.
Useful. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no more, even more than being useful is critical, because
Yeah.
we don't like having a lot of user interface in your, like, on the heads up display. Like, we don't want to show text in your face all the time. So what we do is we move a lot of these systems onto your phone and make them kind of work like an app. So say, for example, you have your friends list. Your friends list is actually going to be a friends or a contacts app on your phone. So what we do is we move a lot of the systems into your phone. So if that phone's broken, you lose control over a lot of the features. So we can't really have that.
Yeah. Same with like always having cell reception. It's kind of
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for you to call your friend up or something. And see,
Yeah.
really, we have to be careful in that, because while it sounds cool, thinking, oh, wow, there's cell reception in the game, it sounds so neat on paper, not really in practice. When you need to call, you need to talk to one of your friends, and you can't, because what happens when you limit people in terms of communication that way is they just go outside the game. And that's not what we want. We want people to do as much in the game as we can. We don't want them to have to like have a TeamSpeak server to talk to each other because they can't in the game, right?
Hmm.
Which is what would happen.
Yeah, it just sounds like a more of an annoyance than a cool feature,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Awesome. And one more. I think this has been answered already, but if so, I haven't heard it directly from you yet. Can you drive and shoot simultaneously?
Yep.
You can?
I mean, I assume you're talking like shooting out of a window.
Yes, like a
Yeah,
pistol out the side when you're gunning it
yeah, you should be
down the
able to do
street.
that.
Cool. Awesome. And yeah, wow, you answered that in like no time at all. Uh, yes, so this is a yes.
Now that said, though, let me like clarify on that a little bit more. If
Hmm.
we're talking on community servers, that'll probably be a common thing. On the official servers, shooting out of a car, you have to keep in mind that shooting someone that so you're just driving by an innocent guy and you shoot him, it's not going to hurt him really because of the stress system,
Yeah,
right?
the stress level.
Yeah. Now, if, for example, that guy is in a gang with an opposing gang of yours, like, gangs can declare war on other gangs. So
Oh,
if that guy is an enemy of yours, then yes, you will kill him. But you can't just drive by, shoot any Joe Blow that's on the side of the road, or you're just not going to do much damage to him.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely good at preserving, just random dudes that don't want to get blown up while they're going down the
Yeah,
street,
no one
for
wants to be
sure.
picking apples and have someone drive
Yeah.
by, blow them away. But then again, like I said, on community servers, it's a different case altogether, because they can disable the stress system if they want to. So
Cool. Yeah, I remember when I first played Red Dead Redemption Online and I only had the donkey. Everyone just kills you, man. You can't get out of there.
Part 2 coming out, eh? God, I
Oh
love
yeah,
that
that's
game.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that game's amazing.
Awesome. So let me see if there's anything new in the Discord. I think we have a few more questions, but
I see Mangu right now is asking if there will
sure.
be rivers or an ocean on the side of the map. Yeah, it's an island, so there's kind of ocean all the way around it. And
Hmm.
yeah, there's a lot of ocean, and there are rivers too. Actually, if you somewhere online, you'll find a copy of our map. I think it's actually on the about or the info page on the
Yeah.
website. Yeah, if you go about and then what is identity, I believe it shows a map in there. That map is really kind of like a rough draft map. The cities are not to scale, but it does give you an idea of rivers, lakes, and placement. So that
Hmm.
much is pretty accurate. So you can kind of see where the rivers are. There's a big river that kind of runs right through the whole map, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I called it up right here. It's under the About tab. You're absolutely correct. Cool. Um, yeah, I'm super super stoked for this game, and we only have a week left of October, man. Oof.
Yep. Yeah, I think like what Tuesday is the last day of the month. So
Yeah, so I gotta get that date for the module
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Actually, for
one. Ooh.
week, I have to go through all these tasks on our project management software, and my God, like we're talking hundreds of things, like some big, some absolutely tiny, but every one of those has to have a time estimate attached to it so we can estimate how long we have left to go. So even just coming up with a release date, it's a lot of work if we
Yeah,
want it to be accurate. I mean, I could just guess off the top of my head, but I'm not
but
comfortable doing
yeah,
it.
it's too risky.
Yeah. Now, when we give a release date, we want to be fairly confident that it's accurate.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely want to deliver on that. And do you think maybe we'll get even like some footage of like flying through module one, like the town square or game? Well, probably not like gameplay, but
I, I
something.
I don't want to give promises, but
Yeah.
I would love to show off some town square with it.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of systems that are totally functional right now, so that's yeah. It shouldn't be too much work to get a little video out.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, a lot of the town square footage is more the playing of it that's fun. So while I'm sure a lot of people would love to see town square footage, it's more of a social thing. So
Hmm.
the gameplay won't look extremely exciting in a video, but it's still interesting to see like the level of detail in these features and stuff. Like, I mean, the apartment system that was pretty well received. That video we did before, and that is a part of the town square. That whole mechanic is in town square. Everything
Awesome.
that you saw there, yeah, and that's just one of many features. But things like, yeah, I really like to show off soon. Things the karaoke and the cinema and whatever. Um, Maybe throw some popcorn around, that kind of thing. There's
Yeah.
we have actually all kinds of systems. So what we're trying to do with Town Square is make everything interactive too. So even this gumball machine, should we toss it into Town Square, we can make it actually dispense gumballs too, because we already have that code functioning for vending machines in a cinema.
Awesome.
Same sort
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. We're trying to make, if you see it, we don't want everything in the environment just being there for eye candy. If you see it and it looks like something that should have a function, we want it to actually have a function.
That's good. Awesome.
The question there, I see. I think I might be answering a question from the same guy, but is there a lot of screens? And there's only one loading screen I can think. At least in Town Square, there's only one place as a loading screen, and that's when you go into the cinema. So you can go into the lobby of the cinema, where you buy your popcorn, where you buy your ticket, and from there to go into the actual screen room, there's a loading screen that lasts like 3 or 4 seconds at most. Aside from that, we have some kind of like clever mechanics to hide the loading process. Like when you go into your apartment, you're going into a separate instance, but the loading all happens while you're going up in the elevator, so you don't. So
Nice.
there's not much for loading screen.
Awesome. Oh, here's one that's been asked a bit, but I didn't get a chance to get around to it. Like, how in depth does the character customization go? Can you change their look after you create them?
You can actually, a lot of the things in character customization can only happen after you create them.
Oh.
Yeah, when you create your character, for example, things like tattoos, you're
Mhm.
probably not going to be able to set that in character creation, but there are tattoo parlors, so you can go there and get a tattoo. So,
Wow.
yeah, some of the stuff is more done after the fact. The character creation is just that. It's like where you make your character, so you choose, you know, your hairstyle and all that. But then you can change that too. There's a barbershop. In fact, there's a concept art piece not long ago of the town square barbershop.
Okay.
So some things.
Awesome. Yeah. Also, are there people who are asking about? I mean, you guys get this question all the time about a potential console port, but I recall you saying that at least I think Module 1 will be controller friendly. So,
Oh, the whole game will be, yeah. Well,
oh,
we're
wow.
trying to make it so that we can go to the consoles as painlessly as possible because that's something that we definitely want to do.
Hmm.
The only reason that is a question is because of the issues with licensing and all that kind of thing. So, on the
Yes.
technical side, we're kind of building Identity from the ground up to be ready for console use.
Awesome. Wow. Yeah, a lot of questions. I apologize because I definitely missed a lot in the Twitch chat. Ah. Um, let's see. Is the character creation we just kind of touched on, is that going to be implemented into the first module then?
The character creation.
Well, like I guess customization, maybe not necessarily tattoos, but like tweaking your appearance after you create a character.
After into well, sort of not with the initial release. So the initial release will have character customization when you create your character.
Okay.
But in fact, yeah, like Charles is sitting here in the chat talking about that. That's kind of like what he's working on a little bit right now.
Yeah, for sure.
He's doing user interface for that. But yeah, no, in Town Square we're going to be adding that sort of thing a little bit later, being the barbershop and the tattoo parlor, but not on release because it's not worth delaying a release of Town Square for that.
Fair enough. Oh, here's a good one that I can't believe I didn't think of yet. How will the inventory system work insofar as do you have like an infinite number of space or
No, no, you
certain
don't.
slots? Can you upgrade your slots?
Right now, no. And in Town Square, it's a little bit different because,
Mm-hmm.
well, there is no currency and there is a limited. There's actually things like you're going to see like trash bins around. They actually work as trash bins too. You can literally,
Oh,
yeah, it's kind of cool. You
that's
can put
useful.
stuff in them to destroy items essentially that you don't want to throw on the ground. But yeah,
Nice.
there's a limited size to your inventory.
That's fair. That's fair.
But you can also throw things on the ground if you want to. You can trade them with other people.
Neat, neat. Um, in terms of storage, just segueing into garages, you think you'll only like, will you have multiple garages or can you fit multiple cars in one garage? Things like that.
Yes to both. You can have multiple
Oh,
garages around the world, and some of them, it all depends on the size. In fact, I think some of the pledge rewards can even have multi-car garages too. So
wow.
you'll see, like in Town Square, the place that your apartment in is actually like a motor lodge. So the bottom bit of it is a garage. There's actually like even in your apartment, there's like a basement garage that you can put cars in.
Okay.
And that's
Nice.
down in Town Square because we would like to have people get access to sit in their cars and stuff, even in the Town Square module later on before release.
Hmm. Nice.
So if you have like pledge cars, soon you'll be able to actually after the Town Square's release, we'll patch it in so that you can sit in your cars and play with all the buttons and knobs in there and stuff before the game's out.
Wow. So like, I don't know, hit the horn, check your keys, things like that.
Yeah,
Lights.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
There's all kinds of things that you can do in a car, and We tried to make them very high fidelity. Like we tried to make as much as we could inside the car. So things like your windshield wipers, your turn signals, your radio, the list goes on. So we try to make it so as much as functional as we can.
That's cool. And what kind of tunes can you pick up with the radio?
Well, they play real streaming radio.
Oh yeah.
So it's not. We don't have songs embedded in the game. You're playing real radio station.
Awesome.
And that said too, while you're playing real radio station, players can, in the full game, not in the town square, but in the full game, you'll be able to broadcast radio as well from the radio station. And if you're doing a broadcast, people will be able to pick that up in their car in addition to the real radio stations.
That's pretty cool, to be honest. Nice. Yeah, just like the amount of customization in this game it sounds so cool. I'm very ready.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to play it too.
Any particular character you're gonna create for the game?
Honestly, for me, I really probably am going to get into the police heavily.
Yeah. Yeah, it does sound fun, and I mean, you've been to the range in real life, so.
Yeah, go almost every week actually.
Yeah. I'll probably be some sort of race car driver or something, just like drifting while delivering packages. Try not to get caught out for speed limits.
And my cars will be wrecked more often than they're not. So, I mean, it's like, God, have you seen Sean play game? I've never played a game where a car lasts more than 2 minutes.
Oh my.
Yeah, he's always upside down and on fire, so won't work out well for him.
Oh, here's another one. If a player were to have a job, could their payment be wired to a bank account?
Depends on the job, but some of the careers will go directly to your bank account. A lot of the jobs will hand. So a lot of like the odd jobs you're doing, like say if you're going out and you're cutting down trees and selling lumber, when there's like a transaction that happens at a vendor to sell something, you're going to get cash, which then you have to go to a bank to put in, to deposit into your account to keep it safe. Some things, like if you get money from work being done as a cop, if it's actually like your police pay, that'll go directly into your bank account.
That's cool. Nice. Sounds convenient and realistic.
Well, we want to create the cash on hand is there for a purpose too, is to add a little bit of extra risk. So a lot of the illegal jobs that you're doing, of course, will always be dealing with cash. If you're selling drugs, they're not going to, give direct deposits.
Yeah.
So, but see, that serves a gameplay purpose too, in that we want to have the extra risk. So when you do a big drug sale and you're carrying a bunch of cash on hand, there's a good chance that maybe other people are in those not so safe areas as well, and it could be a robbery or something. So especially with the illegal things that pay well, we want to make sure that there's a lot of risk for the reward that you get.
What do you think the most popular illegal activity will be in the game?
It depends. I think, yeah, in the beginning, I imagine people growing marijuana or something like that. Just it doesn't take a lot to get into.
Okay.
Other drug production is more involved. It produces more money, like if you're doing cocaine, for example, or meth.
Yeah.
Meth is more difficult because some of the ingredients you get can't just be found in the world. You have to basically rob places. I think with meth, there's a warehouse you're going to have to. Police could get you there. So things like marijuana, a lot easier to deal with. You'll even be able to grow small amounts in your house through a hydroponics table, but not enough to really make a living on.
Yeah, I mean, the whole meth thing does sound pretty fun insofar as you get the RV and you just kind of hope you don't get caught, but you have that long trail of smoke going up into the air.
Yeah,
hey, look at me.
Yeah, if you're in the art, Like it's either in meth mode or it's in transportation mode, driving around. And when it's in meth mode, the massive pillar. I think you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
It's like 40 feet high, 50 feet high. So it's pretty easy to spot from a distance. You know when someone's making meth if you're nearby. You have to hide those pretty well.
Mm-hmm. For sure, for sure. Oh, here's an interesting one from the Discord. Would it be possible to do something illegal like rob a bank, drop the money, and then one of your friends picks it up? Like, is he going to be considered to be illegal, or is he just finding money on the ground?
Yeah, so with systems like that, with some things, we've actually had experience before. So fortunately, in making our mod and everything, we know people's tricks to get around these systems. So yeah, that money will be marked for a certain amount of time. If you're doing that, you will also be flagged. Yeah,
That's good. That's good to know.
yeah. We expect people to always be trying to find out ways to get around the systems, but hopefully we've covered most of the bases.
Yeah. Wow, we already have like 6 minutes left. Man, time flies. We'll definitely try and get around to as many questions as we can, guys. But if not, we should be streaming tomorrow and the next day, same time, because got different artists stream lined up. And honestly, Philippe's doing amazing for his first time on this channel. Like, I'm impressed with his work. And what he's been with us for. Yeah, he's been with us for like a week or so, 10 days.
Yeah, about 10 days or so. 8 days. I don't know.
Something like that.
Something like that.
It's looking good now.
Nice. Let's see. Okay, here's another one from the Twitch chat. You get this a lot, but maybe we can go into it a bit differently in terms of detail. But like, how will criminals and cops be balanced? Is it going to be super easy for a cop to bust a drug ring? Things like that?
Well, I mean, there's two different ways that we're talking about balance here. There could be just in general cops versus criminals, in which case numbers are balanced dynamically based on population of the other side. Meaning you might not be able to sign in as a cop at the police station if there are already too many cops in action at the time.
Yes.
And certain things that you do as a criminal, you kind of like, say you're robbing a bank, that's going to create sort of like a, not an instance, but it blocks off that piece, it makes sort of like a perimeter, and it limits the number of cops and criminals that can get in there to kind of balance it out. If you're talking just sheer, like, how much power does a cop have over a civilian, that balance is kind of struck dynamically. I mean, it's not really. What the fuck? It's tough to describe because really a police officer, first of all, there's going to be a range of police officers. Going to be newbies and people who have access to a little bit more fun and toys. People have been doing it longer, higher ranks. And the same goes for the criminal side of things too. You're going to have people who have a baseball bat versus people who are carrying an AK-47. So when you're talking balance like that, really what it comes down to is sort of the risk versus reward kind of thing. What I mean by that is, say you have an AK-47. That's going to be incredibly powerful facing a regular cop that has a handgun, right? But you're not going to risk that because that gun's going to be very difficult to come by. You're not going to want to risk it doing a small time kind of criminal activity like robbing a gas station. You're going to want to save that for robbing a bank or something like that. And when you do something more difficult like that, there's a good chance that you're going to have SWAT to deal with.
Jeez.
So in that case, you know, you're going to kind of have even weaponry.
Wow.
So yeah, you could use very powerful weapons against a cop that doesn't have access to as much artillery, but one well-placed shot from a handgun's gonna do the trick, and you could, you know, so there's a big risk to that sort of thing.
Awesome. Yeah, well, it's 4:58 now. We can wrap this up. Maybe take one more question from the chat. I'll let you pick one this time, John. I've been stealing them all from you.
Okay,
You
chat. Let
see
me just take a
any
quick
of them?
look here.
Yeah.
God, there's so many questions coming in.
I know it's we aren't used to having this many viewers.
Okay, so here, I'll just answer a few. A lot of these are very quick answers. Let's give a few quick answers here.
Sure.
Question being, what department will the different police department cars be based on? Essentially, there's two departments inside Identity. You have the sheriff, and then you have the actual police, which is the urban department, and they have access to different vehicles. But it's your standard police American vehicles. You have things that are now the brands are different in Identity, but things that resemble Dodge Chargers, Tahoe, your general police vehicles. The logo and all that will depend on whether it's an actual police or a sheriff vehicle. You get a different uniform as a cop too. Another question, if I own a legal weed dispensary and the law changes so it's then illegal, what happens to my business and farm? Well, if it becomes illegal, it becomes illegal. Now, that said, even when it is legal, you can still do illegal farming of the cannabis and everything. So, when it's legal, you have the ability to sell at a dispensary, but you can still sell it illegally for a little more money, even though it's higher risk.
Yeah.
Let's see, another question. How will criminal records work? Pretty straightforward. You do have a criminal record that persists, even if you get arrested and you're no longer wanted at that point. They will be able to see a criminal record lookup that they can do from a computer inside their car to see your history, going back a short little while, about a week. So they can see things that you've done in the past to get an idea of what kind of bad person you are.
Wow. All right, well, it's 5 now if you want to.
Yeah, 5:01.
Take
We
it
better
easy.
wrap this up.
All right, well, thanks everyone for done. Thanks everyone for coming on the
Oh, I can
stream
speak.
today. Yeah.
I got this.
Special thanks to Philippe. Honestly, he did great work. He literally did this low poly thing in like an hour.
I take my head. Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll have another stream for you guys tomorrow and on Thursday. Sorry we didn't get around to a lot of questions today, but it's been super busy and hopefully we can take more tomorrow. Thanks for really like joining though. Like this is a lot of viewers. If this keeps increasing, it's going to be insane. We might have to put the chat into slow mode at some point. But thanks so much for supporting Identity. We definitely want to get stuff out to you guys as quickly as we possibly can, and we are working towards that. So release date for Module 1. Should be announcing that before November, so a week. You guys will know probably within a week. All right. And yeah, that's it. Anything else you want to say?
No, that about covers it. I see a bunch more stuff rolling in for questions.
Yeah.
So we'll be back tomorrow. So I'll be here too, and questions during the next stream. So save up those questions if you think of any more. Keep them in mind for tomorrow, and be happy to answer them.
Yeah. All right, and thanks for streaming everything, Philippe. All right, have a great one, everyone. Stay safe, and see you tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Well.